Hi, Paul Sakis, Good News Planet. I'm here with Ben Levin. He's an author. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Paul. How are you?
I'm good. Now, an author means that you're a writer. Is that with an R or a W? A writer.
W. You spelled writer, Writer.
Well, you proved to me you're a good speller. I'm going to give you an A plus for that. And now we're going to talk about In the Hole. Congratulations. Is this your first book?
It's my first professional book, professionally published book. It's kind of a little confusing for me because I don't like putting down my other books, which were self-published, by saying that this was my first book, but it was my first traditionally done book.
Okay, well, congratulations. And that means you were discovered, I guess.
Thank you. Yeah, that is a good way to put it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being discovered. That's a good thing. And
No, there isn't.
they saw something in your writing and your thinking and your way of being. You're open enough to share that you're autistic, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
That's very brave of you, I'll say up front. What gives you the strength to tell people that you're autistic, would you say?
The fact that I hid it and the fact that I've struggled with self-esteem because of it. So here's my story. When I did this program when I was in elementary school, where the goal, while the people wanted me to be loved how I was, they wanted they didn't want to say that I I don't really know how to explain it. Give me a moment, please.
Sure. I think you're doing really well.
The people
Very interesting.
behind the program did say that I should accept myself just how I am, and so should my family. However, the goal of the program was to remove my autism and to inspire me to want to connect more with others. I mean, the connect with others part was really important because I was very, very in my own world when I was really little. However, their idea of removing my autism, that was harmful, especially after I was done with the program and I thought I'd been cured from autism, which led to a lot of confusion as well as some self-esteem issues. I thought that the fact I'd once been autistic, even if I no longer was, made me an inferior human. And then in eighth grade, I switched schools and I got into an argument with someone over whether or not you can recover. And because I knew most people didn't believe you could, I decided to keep it a secret because I didn't want to be seen as a crazy liar. However, deep down, it was also kind of redeeming for me, liberating. It felt to not have people know. I'd been very open about my autism at my old school. However, having the secret stifled me and prevented me from developing my friendships. 3 years later, I started to realize that and spent months considering whether or not it would be worth it to share my story. And then last February, I had a conversation with a close relative about whether who it turned out thought I was still autistic, which compelled me to spend a weekend trying to figure out what being autistic truly meant, which finally helped me understand that while the program did give me more social skills, it did not remove my autism, but I shouldn't want it to remove my autism. Autism is a gift, not a curse. Some people have been scared that autism is becoming an epidemic, a bad thing, since the number of people on the spectrum is increasing through genetics, but it's not a bad thing at all. I'm not saying being autistic is easy or easy for the people around you, but shouldn't be seen as terribly as it is right now. 2 months after I finally accepted I'm still autistic, but that I shouldn't be ashamed, I shared my story on Instagram claiming my autism and saying I was proud to be on the spectrum. And I was very, very blown away by how much support I received in response. I also started to realize I can help others. There are way too many other people on the spectrum who have the same self-esteem issues I did. That has to change. My goal is to remove all of the stigma and help people see autism as a gift.
Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts here with us. You know, when I was in graduate school of communications, someone had said to me that someone with autism and or Asperger's are geniuses. So I don't know, did anybody ever share that thought with you?
A couple of people have said similar things. My brother has told me every person on the spectrum has a superpower, and mine is my writing, which
Okay.
that's the thing. That's what I feel the gifts of being on the spectrum are, at least for me. It helped me become a better writer, and it also helped me develop really good friendships with other people on the spectrum.
Well, I think that people adapt their, you know, whether it's cultural or it's environmental, the nature around them, the family structure, the setting. We all adapt, whether someone wants to put a label on who you are and why you are who you are, and so on and so forth. You know, actually, these words, to be frank with you, from my knowledge of this, which I can't say is vast, except I've probably done 100 shows on it, is that, you know, this is a new story. So what happened, you know, 100 years ago, the word autism, I don't think was even discussed. I mean, so, you know, somehow certain commentary evolves and people start to say, well, this is this and this is that. But everybody in their own way adapt. And does that mean that they're autistic? Does that mean that they're perfect? No, we have to, in life, make changes and to survive with others, you know, maybe on your own one thing. You're doing great. Give us a little, let's go to your book, because this is what makes you happy. And I can thank you for being on and sharing these thoughts. For me, you're a genius. And
Thank you so much.
and
That really means a lot.
and the good news here is that you're breathing. See, I characterize it all into one. You're breathing or you're not breathing. If you're breathing, you're blessed and you're very lucky. And the world is your oyster, as they say. And everything you do is the greatest. And people that judge other people or spend some time, you know, thinking in this regard, to a certain degree, are wasting a lot of their own personal time.
Writers like to snap instead of clap, and you've definitely earned your snaps.
All right. I love the snap concept. I never heard of it, but I'm snapping you too. In the hole. Who's in the hole? Why are they in the hole? And are they going to get out of the hole?
David Kimball is in the hole. Being in the hole means being in poverty or being homeless. And David gets out of the hole through hard work, determination, and the support of his family and friends.
God almighty, this is a beautiful tale. This is a beautiful concept. And I hear there's some restaurant involved with this.
Yes, a couple. David's father used to run a successful restaurant before a crime was committed there, and he ended up losing his job, which led to the family being homeless. And then years later, Mr. Kimball starts up his restaurant again, and David actually helps him.
See, I'm right. You're a genius. See, this story is very, very innovative and interesting. It's interesting. Is David a good guy, or what kind of guy do you think David is?
David is a really good guy. He's very, very likable. He's there for his friends. He loves sports. He also loves writing and video games. He's kind of your average guy, even though he's very sensitive and he has a huge heart.
Okay. So you know what's interesting about what you're saying? Because David is you. And
No,
you are a good guy. I can tell right now, that's all those complimentary concepts for me, from just hearing you, you're a good guy.
that David and I also don't have that much in common. I don't play sports, and I'm not very passionate about sports, and I do not like video games.
These are minor details. Those are just add-ons to the words that you said that are, in my mind, are much more powerful. A good guy is better than a good video player or a good basketball player. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
True enough.
Yeah, the important words that you shared, those other things, they're like materialistic kinds of things in a certain manner, shape, or form. I'm
not sure David would agree, since baseball and basketball pretty much define him.
Anybody who is possessed with the basketballs and the video games and the cars and the clothes and all those kinds of things.
David doesn't like cars or clothes.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning of the story, he has main interests: baseball, basketball, video games, and writing, even though he eventually discovers a love for cooking as well and an interest in movies.
But this is all in your head. You have written up the story. You are the brains behind this beautiful story, and you're sharing it. Let me ask you, what is something that we're going to learn about this in the whole book? What are we going to take away? What is the takeaway?
The takeaway is about how community can help you when you're struggling, and it also gives a good introduction. In the Hole is limited with how much education it can give in terms of homelessness. However, it gives a very good and very believable and authentic version of what it's like, especially with David's feelings. And it can also make people more aware of homelessness and make them more inspired to fight it and help the homeless.
Okay, you're magnificent. And you're gonna, I hope you can, you should, since you said you're from New Jersey, there was a guy, his name was Bill Bradley. He was a basketball player. He was a very famous basketball player. But and he was very famous politician in New Jersey. But what he also was very famous is he won a Fulbright scholarship, which is a very difficult. I don't know if they still give it. Mr. Ben Levin, you're going to get a Fulbright scholarship. You apply for that.
What is a Fulbright scholarship?
Fulbright scholarship is I believe, to study in Cambridge University in England. You deserve it. I want you to get it.
I think it's very kind to say I deserve it. However, I kind of prefer somewhere more local for college.
All right, go to Rutgers.
My dream college is actually Fairleigh Dickinson.
Oh, that's good. I got it accepted there. That's a good school too. That's a good thing. All right, Ben, you got your act together. You're doing great. Let me ask you one last question. Well, two questions. One is where can we get In the Hole? Where can we get the book?
You get In the Hole from Amazon.com or jumpmasterpress.org.
Okay, we're involved with World Peace, the International Day of Peace, which is September 21st.
I love that.
And we've been doing that kind of involvement for many, many years. And so I do a concert in Times Square and Central Park and other things. So I like to ask people, what about peace for them? So Ben, what was peace for you?
Peace for me.
Yeah, what's peace mean to you?
Justice and happiness for all.
You are fantastic. You one smart gentleman. I wish you only the best. And however I can assist you in your pursuits, you give me a holler.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ben, thanks a lot for taking time to speak with us.
No problem.
You take care. See you soon.
Is this it?
That's the whole thing, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, something to tell my audience. Follow your dreams and embrace yourself.
You're magnificent. I love you. Ben, you're cool.
Thank you so much. All of your compliments are so kind.
And from the heart. You see the heart behind me?
Mm-hmm.
Straight on. All right, my friend. I'll talk to you again.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.